Welcome to Music Means Business, Music Business Cast. I've got Michael Jeeves with me from the Pushworth Group. How are you, Michael?
Good, thank you, Nikki. How about yourself?
I am good. We are using this crazy Twilight Zone lockdown time to talk all things music business. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a marketing checklist when you're doing a feature tribute show. So, Michael Jeeves, how many tribute shows, like not just the actual shows, but the type of shows have you done so far?
Oh man, over the years.
God,
So
yeah.
that one. 6 or 7.
So this is a man who pretends to be other people on a regular basis. I'm on stage.
Oh,
So he understands better than anyone how hard it is to actually build a feature show, and the most important part of it, marketing, because when you don't and your show tanks, it's really on you, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And we've all had that. We've all had the tank. All right, so let's go through the checklist. So we're going to start with the brand. So can you talk to us about what that entails? And that's actually the first step on this list. So go, Michael.
Yeah, so when I first started looking at doing tributes, I just thought it was a matter of just getting up there and playing songs well, and that was it. People will like it. Go home, have a good night, see you later. I soon learned that it's not that easy, and there's a lot of work involved. And I liken it to the same as when you set up an original band or you're doing a new act. You've got to put the effort in to get the result and to get the right amount of traction for what you're doing. So, really important things like your website, your social media, profiles, names, simple things like what colors and fonts you use and how it's, selling the show and how it's, whatever band you're doing and making sure that it looks familiar to people that sort of know that band as well. And, getting a clear sort of goal of who's the target market, who are the people you're trying to play for and sort of reach as well. Because I think if you have your brand right and your vision at the start, it's going to save a whole lot of heartache when you have to go back 5 years later and rebrand or we're going to do this now and now we got it right. So I think it's taking the time at the start to make sure that all that stuff is in place first.
Also making sure that a lot of acts will have one Facebook page or one Instagram and use it for all of their different brands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard for a venue to tag you when they're doing their advertising. So you do have to set up individual social media profiles for each individual brand. That's really important. And I know it's a pain in the ass, but it's, that's what we're doing. We're selling the show. So we need to make sure that they can tag you. So let's talk about the next thing, which is the actual brand activity. Obviously, you're not going to be gigging all the time. So you're not going to necessarily have a show to promote. What are the kind of things that you do or you can recommend that a feature show brand does in order to keep building their brand, building their metrics and building their audience online before there's no shows?
Yeah, well, I think sometimes I wouldn't say any content is good content, but you need to be doing stuff to engage. So whether you're having a rehearsal or someone does an acoustic performance of a song, maybe a funny quote or something. Do things to get people engaging with what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be always relatable to a show or something like that. But finding ways to engage with people so that they're interacting back with you. And because if you're not interacting with people and you don't, it's like if you don't talk to people and create relationships with people, you won't have any friends. So
we want lots of friends for your show. Lots of friends for your show.
Yeah. So it's a friendship. That's what it is, and finding ways to make that friendship with you and your fans work.
And then the next one is all about your assets. So, Michael, tell us about the assets that you need for a feature show.
Right. This is so important. And this is probably the one thing we harp on about the most. Find a good photographer Firstly, because you're going to need some good photos, because if you put it on a big banner and you take it on your iPhone, it's going to be all pixelated, they can't use it, and it's going to look horrible. So find a good photographer, tell them what your vision is, and don't just get them to take shots. Actually find a photographer that can do a proper photo shoot where you're being directed by them on for the look that you want. Make sure the lighting's right and all that sort of stuff. Because the first thing that people see when they see a logo for a band and they see photo, that's the first thing that's the first way they're gonna relate to the band. And if it looks like crap, no one's gonna want it. So I think that the bios, the demos and videos, and making sure that you can't rush putting together a show. You've got to put the time in to set it up right. And if you don't do that, then you have to do it eventually if you want to do it properly. So you might as well take the time to get all that stuff together and make sure that's all right. So you've got all those assets all ready to go, and they're all things that are going to benefit you back on your social media or on your website, because that's your advertising. That's the way that you sell your product. And if you know that if you see a great ad for something, you're gonna go buy that product because it's so well marketed. But if you see one that just goes, "We are good, eat our food," you're gonna go, "Well, why?" But if it looks delicious and juicy and amazing and fresh, then you're gonna go, "Yes, that's a tribute we want." But we want the McDonald's tribute. Looks delicious and tasty.
We want the
Makes us feel
beautiful. Yeah, we want that. It's got to look great. So the next one, once you've got all that in place, obviously you guys are running a campaign. So whether it's a ticketed event or it's a free event, what's your standard campaign that you run, Michael? Obviously there's a template there.
Yeah, there is, and you really need to communicate with the venue that you're playing with as well. And it's really important to if it's a free show, if it's a ticketed show, because there are different ways that will work. But in general, you're going to need 6 to 8 weeks at a minimum. If you can get longer, it's the longer you have to promote, the better. So you're going to want to obviously you'll advertise the event, but setting up Facebook events, ticketing links, posters, banners, for internal marketing, or posters for digital marketing, and it's you want to spread the reach as far as you can across the venue social media, your websites, and one thing that's really important is there's usually one person in the band that does all of the marketing and does all of the thing, and so they just post on the band's page, and okay, cool. But in most bands, you've usually got at least 3 or 4 members. Go, okay, cool. The show's marketed. We're done. But it's also putting the onus on the other members in the band because at a minimum they've probably got 400 or 500 friends on Facebook or Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat and all that sort of thing. So all those members in the band also need to invest their time into promoting the show on their social media. Like if your social media at the start especially hasn't got a great reach, you're going to want to create extra reach by the people in your band promoting through their circles as well. So, and work friends and family and all that sort of thing. And it's because, that's the way things spread. Like starts here and goes out. So it's really important. Everyone's got to be on. They're all got to be on track with it.
Yep, it's a group effort. It's a village that takes to actually promote a show, and everyone has got a network and everyone's got a market. So everyone needs to be responsible to leverage that.
Yeah, and I think it's a campaign. So you've got to. The better the campaign, the
the better it is
Better,
for you.
you know, whether you got to do, if it's a ticketed show, do a giveaway, get people excited about coming to the show. You know, pull up a radio station, pull up a newspaper. They're always looking for stories and free things.
That's
so
right. Yeah.
that's
And
nice.
then I guess the next part of a marketing checklist is your actual show delivery, because that's all part of the marketing. So in terms of names on the drums, I mean, we've had people where the band's turned up and it's a show, but the name on the drum is their normal cover band. So people get really confused. So I guess production, lighting, names on the drums, on banners, costumes. Michael, talk to us about that, the actual show delivery.
Yeah, you need to not just turn up and play and have some light flashing. You need to actually, from the start, plan your set list, plan how you're going to do the show, whether you're going to have video backdrops, where are you going to tell a story? Are you going to go through the history of the band from the youngest, the earliest song to the newest song? Are you going to do a greatest hits show? What sort of story are you telling? What sort of journey do you want to take people on? So, yes, you've got to have the right look, the right sound, but it's the production value. The story that you tell with the songs that you're playing, the sound that you create, who's doing the sound for you, how it's sounding out there, and it's making sure that you've got all those things in place so that when they see it, you want people to go, wow, that's amazing. They tell all their friends. And because you've done good marketing and because you've had a good campaign and you've promoted properly, the show goes well. And guess what? You get booked again.
Yeah. So you're creating an experience. So you want to create an experience that people come back again and again and again. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we've got all of this stuff on our website. We've got the complete feature show marketing checklist. So we'll put a link on, but there's so much stuff on our website about marketing. I know you guys are probably bored with us nagging you, but it's all there to help you fine-tune your marketing and go out and make money, get popular, get people to come to your shows, like build credible and financially viable music brands. That's our greatest wish for you.
Yes.
Michael, thank you for giving everyone about this information about the actual marketing checklist. It's such an important part of delivering the show, and we really appreciate you giving them all this information. We'll leave it there. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.